Hey everybody, Adam Savage in my cave, and it is Grogu madness.
Oh, Adam, what is the collective noun for Grogus?
A delight of Grogus.
That's right. Yeah. A cuddling of Grogus. Yeah, I think you're a little Grogu obsessed.
I am in the middle of my full Grogu obsession. This is me gathering all the Grogus from the different corners of my life and getting them into one location. And this is inspiring. It's part of an inspiration of a project I'm currently working on, which will become clear on the channel.
Yes, and in the kind of obsession and research for the project, you see Grogu differently than maybe a lot of other people.
Well, there's this thing of the earliest part of a project to me is always about putting the object in me, like sort of infusing myself with it until I really understand all the different vagaries of it. Mm-hmm. I bought this one. This is the Sideshow Grogu a couple of years ago, and did some videos where I made his arms more posable, and he has been ripped to shreds. The reasons will become apparent, and why his feet are missing will also be clear.
Don't ask questions now.
And this is from one of the production
They
castings.
had access to one of the original puppets, did a mold, and tooled their own version.
And it's a beautiful sculpt. The cloak on this is beautiful. This is a Sideshow Grogu. But we were shooting at Sideshow, and they asked me if I wanted one of the Hot Toys Grogus, and they sent me one, and this little guy showed up, and he's great.
It's so funny because now that you know that I had purchased the first run of
I didn't
the
know there
Hot
were
Toys,
two.
I guess even before he was named Grogu, the child. And so I brought mine in because I was so curious what the differences are. So both of these made by the same company, years apart. I'm always curious, did they resculpt it? Did they have, is there different functionality? Off the bat, the satchel comes with the new one.
And this is the Biker Scout satchel that they abscond with Grogu in. It's the one where Adam Barty gives him a punch there.
Okay. Very nice.
It's a lovely bag. It's well done. It's a little lightweight for my taste, but honestly, they're trying to deliver these times a million. I totally get it.
Yep. It's a perfect way to display, I guess, the figure.
I will tell you, not only is it a perfect way to display, but when he first arrived, of course, because I wanted to look at him for a while, I kept bringing him back and forth to the cave. So for at least 3 days, if you saw me on my one wheel here on the mission, and you saw me go past, behind me you'd see Grogu peeking out of the satchel behind my back.
Nice. Okay, they're posable. They have fully articulated neck here.
The ball joint on the head is significant because this one does not have that.
Only rotates.
And he becomes much more personable as you pose him around your life because of that ball neck that they've got.
They're sitting right now, but I think they both stand. Maybe not on their own, but you can put them in a standing pose. The hands look very similar. Obviously, the head, right? The portrait is the thing that might have changed. The one they did a couple years ago had 2 sets of ears, so these were magnetically
that's so
detachable,
far out.
right? And they're not all that different. Like the ears are down a little bit, like a puppy, but collectors and some fans didn't appreciate the seam.
It's really hard to get something like that right. And I was complimenting off camera that the seam is really great for dealing with the vagaries of manufacturing and the different translucencies between plastics and rubbers. They got as close as they could, but they're selling to the most difficult fan base imaginable.
Well, and you make a good point because this is actually 2 different materials, right? Yeah. This is solid plastic, but this is actually
and that's because
skin.
The mouth moves.
Yeah, there was articulation in the mouth. So
you give them 2 positions, down and up.
I leave them in the up position because, as people in the forums pointed out, over time, there was a tear underneath the chin.
This is the difficulty with flexible materials, is you could exceed their flexure.
Yes, so this one does not have an open mouth. It's a static, and it's a solid monolithic piece, right? Eyes look very similar.
They look very similar, but also slightly different. I think that these eyes feel like monolithically cast, and these feel like a lensing over an eye interior. I feel like I see a couple of layers
if you look at it from the side,
you see that?
And no, you're right. There is no clear layer. It's just black all the way to the front.
I think there's a universal truth about Grogu replicas. By the way, let's just point out, this is from one of the Gentle Giant figures. This is Tony McVeigh's original maquette sculpt. This is the Grogu that comes with the pram.
Right, the Mattel one.
It also has an octopus to suck onto his face if you want. There you have your octopus Grogu. And then this one lying down here, he can't really sit up because this is the silicon Etsy Grogu I bought.
Right.
When I was first obsessed, it was like 3 years ago. Yeah. And honestly, I really like this sculpt. I like how much hair there is, but it doesn't really hold
Very
itself
interesting. If you
up.
bring that one over, you can see the eyes. This one, there's it's the
they're big magnifiers.
Exactly, and that pupil is far receded into the back, so it's not actually dimensional. So off to the side, very weird.
I'm noticing clear glass. Yeah,
I'm getting a little bit of that sight now. Now I can see how this one actually pushes up, but you see the glassy layer. That's very cool.
I will say there's a couple of things that is pretty universal that gets missed on Grogu replicas, even by the professionals. One is that the pupils are bigger on the real Grogu, I think, than anyone realizes. I think that they make them smaller because that's people's expectations, and they don't want to disappoint. The other one is that Grogu's got hair all the way out to the ends of his ears.
Yes.
You can see it in a lot of silhouettes. And honestly, I mean, the operation of putting hair on a plastic model, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I imagine this is a pain in the butt for them from a manufacturing standpoint.
But it's a lot of hair all the way to the back of the head, too.
Yeah.
And this one has it, but not as much. I mean, I'm looking at it right now with the light coming back, and that looks way more like
this is without a doubt I feel like the most accurate current depiction of Grogu. And it's their sculpt. It's Hot Toys sculpt, not from us casting.
Right. It's still technically an artist's interpretation.
Yeah.
The ear, because it's a part of that sculpt, a lot more. You can feel it. It feels different.
Oh yeah, there's a ton more texture up here than there is here.
Yeah. This one, it's in the paint. You can see it. In the speckling.
I now want to be in the meeting where they're like, okay, we're going to redo Grogu. What did we get wrong? What did we get right? You know, they're probably having this whole horse trading about manufacturing, finding efficiencies to offset the excessive costs, etc.
Yep. Even his clothes are. It's not a.
They changed them.
It's
almost
not
entirely. Each piece of fabric is slightly different.
Yeah.
There's one thing I particularly love about the Hot Toys Grogu, specifically, is that his feet can go behind him, and thus he sits really nicely in the pram and looks exactly correct.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? And like...
And I love that he has to contort his body to look right for the shot, much like an actor or a creature performer would have to occasionally do.
Exactly.
That looks great.
Doesn't that? This is, basically, the moment Hot Toys came into the pram, I'm like, these two live together for the rest of creation.
Very cool.
I will say that Hot Toys regularly gets so many details right that I will buy their scaled costumes to pattern off of because I have learned their fidelity is really tight.
And without naming names, we have been in specialty costume shops that have made costumes that then have turned into the 1/6 scale collectible, and those designers and costumers will often pick up those figures because it's the only way they can have a version of a costume back in their studio, and they say it's exactly right as well.
Amazing. It's my new favorite Grogu that I have purchased. That's all I'm going to say here for now.
Not the end of your obsession.
Not the end of my Grogu obsession, not by a long shot.
Yeah. And if they end up doing a version 3.0, rolling eyeballs.
Rolling eye? Oh, really?
Yeah, I want rolling eyeballs. That's what I would want.
Wow.
That's what I want to pose the eyes.
You're gonna have to have a lever on the back so that they move in unison.
You have the head pop off, and then you have two sticks and move the two sticks.
You couldn't possibly have customers moving two sticks because the eyes will always look wrong and they'll always be upset about it. You got to link them at the factory.
And there was a system they did. They called it the PERS system, the parallel eyeball system, where you move one stick and it moved them in parallel. But you know what? The fans wanted two sticks.
Really?
Yes. It's better with two sticks.
I was wrong.
It breaks. You don't want the system to break.
Fair.
Another point of mechanical failure. Yeah.
Also, sorry. The last one I haven't mentioned here is this beautiful crocheted one from Mind Over Muse's Craft. I believe this was given to me at a recent con. Recent. That is a That word's doing a lot of heavy lifting here. But this was given to me, and as I was going around my house and shop over the past few days to gather all the Grogu together.
And yes, let us know the best Grogus you've seen.
100%.
People who've done their own sculpts, people who have done their own replicas, reference that you might not have seen yet.
Absolutely.
Right? Just like you didn't know that pram existed until we went to Steve Sand Sweets.
No, I know.
Right?
You could Google for weeks and still not know the truth of something.
Yes, help build up this library.
There's one I couldn't find, which is the Grogu and pram that came with the Razor Crest. That's sticking somewhere in a different drawer than I thought it was.
Grogu of all scales.
It never ends. Oh, and this Grogu is the one that came with the pram. I think I covered. Yes, I did cover that. All right. And the least interesting eyes of the bunch. These look like just almost black polished orbs. All right. Thank you guys for joining us for this Grogu Love Fest. He looks so freaking cute. And you dress him up on the holidays, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the kid costumes. Yeah, he's a pumpkin for Halloween. It's about that time, almost that time of year again. All right. See you guys next time.
See you guys next time. Have a good one. Thank you guys for watching. I wanted to tell you about some new merch we have at adamsavage.com. We have a 4-pack of Savage meatball logos, a 3-inch, a 2-inch, a 1-inch, and my new favorite, a Savage meatball magnet. You can get them at adamsavage.com.